Hello and welcome everyone to this week's edition of Breeding to Win, as we continue our road trip to preview the yearlings on offer at the CTSK Premier Yearling Sale, which takes place at the beautiful the Win S8 on Sunday the 6th of February. And we begin at a stud farm that prides itself on breeding sound horses that stand up to the rigors of racing. Normandy Stud have only 4 yearlings on this year's sale, which includes 3 colts and 1 filly.
It's lovely to be here at Normandy Stud this morning. We're in the paddock with Sergeant Aarde, and Bravura's just hiding in the shade under the tree, but the champ Sergeant Aarde is looking very, very well, isn't he, Oscar?
Yeah, what an amazing horse, and what a privilege to have been associated with him, to have bred him. Every single Grade 1 race in the Cape season, except for one, we've won. And he completed the Cape Flying Championship for us. So yeah, they're special horses.
Oscar, we've just seen your draft going to the Cape Premier Yearling Sale, and I must say, what a smashing looking draft. There's some very smart individuals there and some lovely breeding, and you've really prepped them very well.
Thank you, I'm very excited about them, particularly the 3 from Rio Carrari's family. It's a family that we have it's basically been a Normandy family from Nordic Fine onwards. And we've had a number of her daughters in the stud, and they've all produced loads of winners. The ones we have now, with the exception of Arctic Breeze, are all, really young mares. But when I look at the foals, the yearlings, the 2-year-olds, there's just so much excitement. And Rio is, at the moment, the apex of that excitement.
Well, I couldn't really fault any of them looking at them this morning. A really lovely looking bunch. But let's go through them as they appear in the catalogue. And the first one that you'll be selling is lot 28, and he's a colt by Twice Over.
He's a big, scopy, strong, athletic colt. From one of our old families, the in-camera family. And it's just, he says it all himself. Nothing else one can say about him.
Absolutely, and a good walker too. And then you move on to the hundreds. You're selling a lot 100, lot 101 and lot 102. So let's start with lot 100, the Kawari filly. Now, she walked beautifully this morning. She's a very, very nice looking filly.
I'm tempted to say she's the best Kawari filly I've ever seen. But it's more fair to say that I haven't seen a better one. She's a full sister in blood to Rio Carrari. Her dam was a fantastic race filly. And when we were doing the mating, this is the best outcome I could have wished for. She's extraordinary. I could look at her all day long. She moves so beautifully.
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely beautiful walker, beautiful looking filly. Lot 101 is the Twice Over colt out of Nordic Light.
So Nordic Light, half sister to the dam of Rio Carrari, and this is the pitfall of sticking with Nordic, because they're all going to be in the catalogue one after the other. And so he was a beautiful foal. He's still showing, he's almost back to where he was as a foal, but he's just got improvement that's going to keep coming. Athletic, very typical of the family in that they're sort of medium-sized, close-coupled, and one of the reasons why we sent mares from that family to Twice Over is it's a very, very fast family, and we wanted to just get a bit of stamina into it.
And then, of course, Vercingetorix is doing well on the track, and you've got a colt out of Nordic Wind, and I thought he looked smashing.
Yeah, he doesn't have the white that Rio Carrari has, and there are differences, but in terms of the muscular build, close-coupled, the speedy look, there's a lot of Rio Carrari about him, and yeah, just delighted with them. I'm delighted with all 4. Couldn't be happier.
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely a beautiful looking draft, exciting times. And you've prepped them so well. And of course, they've got a little bit more time on their side to grow, and they're going to be lovely individuals.
Yeah, the thing is that we walk a fine balance between having them look amazing at all stages through their lives and raising racehorses. And we've err on the side of we raising athletes, so they can look pretty rough for most of their lives, but we'd rather they grow up rough and tough, and they stand up to training, and they can get better and better as they get older. And so, sometimes we pay the price, and that maybe they don't go for the money they do as yearlings, but that's the buyer's gain.
Well, they certainly look very, very well prepped, and it's not long to go now before you'll be moving into De Grendel, but I'm sure trainers will come and see them out here on the farm as well.
Sure, and the thing is that there's a whole lineup of other yearlings I could see at the same time, so everyone's welcome.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much for having us this morning. We wish you all the best at the sale, and lovely to catch up with Sergeant Aarde and Bravura as well. You're enjoying their breakfast now, but thanks very much, Oscar.
Thanks, Fee.
Looking forward to seeing Normandy's draft at De Grendel on the 6th of February. Of course, if you'd like to come and see them out on the farm, you can, and you'll be seeing them on that week prior to the sale at De Grendel. But a really, really smart looking draft.
It's Carry On Ellis that's taken the lead in the Medical Cape Pride Championship. Carry On Ellis won it.
Lobo's Legend in front in the classic. Sir George tries hard. It's Lobo's Legend clear by 2.
Undercover agent though, with a wing on every. Who's gonna do it?
It's Casimir. Trip to Heaven is flying home late, but Casimir's in command here, and Casimir's won it.
It's William Longsword in front. Janubi coming late with Singapore Sting, but William Longsword goes on to win it.
Stride for stride, it goes to One World. Vardy is going on to win the Lormerans Queen's Plates and won impressively.
Linebacker is going to get it all right today. But Chancenet is finding more. We're into the closing stages and Chancenet beats Desert Miracle. Double superlative, puts his head in front close home. He wins the Guineas going away.
Anton Shepherd and Beaumont Stud need no introduction to Breeding to Win viewers. The breeder of Dual South African Horse of the Year Variety Club, one of the finest thoroughbreds produced in South Africa.
We're here at Beaumont Stud this morning. I must say the farm is looking particularly nice after all the rain, and Anton Shepherd is with me to chat about his draft. Anton, morning.
Morning, Fee.
Lovely draft heading to the Cape Premier Yearling Sale. Early days, and obviously they're going to grow into themselves, but looking good, walking nicely.
Yeah, it's always tough prepping horses this time of the year. New Year's, Christmas, and also they're young horses, you know. So it is, but it's what the market wants, and it's a good time of the year to be marketing horses in Cape Town.
Well, you've got 3 selling on the sale. Let's go through them as they appear in the catalogue. And you're selling early. You've got lot 8, a Pathfork colt. He looks quite leggy. He's got to grow into himself.
Yeah, he's a lovely colt. He was one of the nicest foals I had born of his crop. He's out of a trippy mare. They walk on water. I think the mare's got a big horse in her. Yeah, I think he's a really, really nice horse. I'm a great fan of Pathfork. He just about tops every single stat available. Massively underrated stallion who can get a big horse, and I do like him a lot.
And lot 120 is a Global View filly, and she'll have some growing to do as well, because the Global View's pretty big, aren't they?
Yeah, out of a 4-time winning mare. She's a racy filly. She's a classy filly. I think she could turn into a decent racer as well.
And then the last of your 3 is 160, filly by William Longsword, and she's a lovely looker.
She is a lovely looker, extremely well bred. She's out of a mare called Tina's Trip, yet another trippy mare. I like to collect them. And she's out of Thunder Dance, who's a sister to Captain L. So she's out of a Group 1 winning mare. She's by Trippy. She's produced a black type horse. It's a lovely looking filly. Ticks every single block out there. So I'll be surprised if she can't run either. Yeah. Sound like a trainer. I think they're all going to run.
But as you said to me earlier off camera, you've still got a little bit of time to go with them in terms of prepping them. But what we saw this morning was certainly very good indeed. And the sale is around the corner. It won't be long before we're moving into De Grendel.
Yeah, we've got 4 weeks. And the horses, when you sales prepping them, 4 weeks is a long time. We don't over prep. We possibly under prep. I must look at that. Yeah, in 4 weeks, there'll be a big difference.
You're nice and close to Cape Town, so hopefully you'll get some trainers out to see them before they go in.
Yeah, we like doing that. I like entertaining. I like having people around me. And we'll definitely have as many trainers out as we can.
And how have you found De Grendel as a venue so far? I mean, it's just magnificent, isn't it?
It is, and also it's so easy to get there. It's off the highway, magnificent view. The horses enjoy it there. The restaurants are great. It's from a selfish perspective, as you mentioned, it's probably half an hour away for us. No, it's beautiful.
And we can have a glass of wine while you go about your work.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for having us this morning, Anton. We look forward to seeing you at the sale, and we hope you sell well.
Thanks, Fee. Lovely.
Always great to be out here at Beaumont. As I said, it's looking so pretty this morning, and the stock all looking fabulous in the paddocks. We wish Anton Shepherd all the best at the upcoming Cape Premier Yearling Sale.
Hemel and Aarde Stud is only a few kilometers away of the picturesque town of Hermanus, a stud farm that enjoys moderate temperatures and sea breezes in a climate that is perfect for the growth of thoroughbreds.
We're here at Hemel and Aarde Stud this morning, and David Hepburn-Brown is with me to chat about his lovely draft going to the Cape Premier yearling sale. David, morning.
Morning, Fee.
Thanks very much for having us today. I must say, on our travels, we're noticing with every farm, the rain is just making all these farms look magnificent, so green and beautiful.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic year for rain. I think it must be like 15, maybe more years back that we've had this amount of rain, and that it's rained so far into the summer months, which has also been really nice. And I think we must be a good 500 mils more than what we normally would get.
Yeah, certainly looking beautiful, plenty of lush grass around.
Oh no, thanks a lot.
Well, you've got four lovely looking individuals going to the sale, 3 colts and a filly, so we'll go through them as they appear in the catalogue. Lot 139 is a Master of My Fate colt out of 7th Storm. Yeah,
this is, if you look on the page, this is the first time that the family has actually gone back to the line, a Jetmaster line, since Pocket Power and River Jetes. So it makes him a very interesting colt, and his half-brother by What a Winter is now a 4-time winner. And Master of My Fate's doing well on the track at the moment, and I honestly think he's worth looking at, and definitely if you look at what the page has done and what Jetmaster's done too with Pocket Power and River Jetes.
And lot 141, of course, is by Horizon, who stands here. He's a lovely colt by She Rules the Skies.
Yeah, this is my first Horizon that I'll be selling on the market, and I couldn't be happier with him. He really is. He's a lovely colt. He's got a lot going for him. He's got a lot of substance. He's a very nicely balanced horse. He's a classy, quality colt. And I try to look for something that would be nice and to put as his introduction to the public.
He's a lovely looking stallion, isn't he? And of course, we know what Horizon did on the race course.
Yeah, he's a magnificent horse. And I think, you know, he was an unlucky horse in that he didn't pick up bigger races. But as far as on paper goes, he's got to be one of the best bred horses in South Africa at the moment. And
he's certainly breeding some nice looking individuals.
Very happy with them.
Yeah.
Really couldn't be happier.
Well, good luck with him on the sale. Lot 149 is a Twice Over out of Snow and Ice, another colt.
He's a very nice big colt, going to obviously grow a lot more. He's out of a Western Winter mare. He's got a lot of scope with him, and the Grew of Ice came out. She won first time out, and so hopeful.
And then you've got the one filly on the sale, lot 175. She's by Horizon out of Western.
Yeah, I try to look for a colt and a filly to put on the sale, and she was my filly choice to put there. She's a first foal out of a 4-time winning mare, and also I couldn't be happier. Very, very racy, athletic filly. Also got a lot of quality to her.
You couldn't have them looking better. It's obviously an early sale, and they're walking very nicely. We've got a few weeks to go, and obviously lots of growth to come for these youngsters. But they really are a nice looking draft.
Thank you. Oh, I think between now, over the next 3 weeks before the sale, I think they're going to change a lot more, and then obviously going forward, they'll just keep improving.
And De Grendel lends itself very well as a sales venue. Did you enjoy it last year?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
that's why we're back again.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you there. And of course, you'll be there the week before for everyone to have a look, and people are welcome to come and have a look on the farm.
I think we come in on the Wednesday before the sale.
Super.
So looking forward to it, and looking forward to everybody seeing the Horizons.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, best of luck. Thanks very much for having us this morning, David.
Thank you. Thanks.
Always great to be here at Hemel and Aarde Stud in Hermanus. Of course, it's beautiful out here. David certainly has a lovely draft of 4 going to the sale, and we look forward to seeing him at De Grendel on the 6th of February.
Staying in the Hemel and Aarde Valley is another top stud farm, Nadeson Park, who are well represented with 25 yearlings on this year's sale, including progeny from Gimme the Green Light, Twice Over, Time Thief, Trippy, Captain of All, to name but a few.
Nadeson Park are sending 25 to this year's Cape Premier yearling sale. We're lucky enough to be having a look at them all this morning, and they are certainly very nicely prepped and a nice large draft heading to De Grendel for the sale on February the 6th. And I'm really delighted to be chatting to Hassan Adams this morning. Lovely to see him again. Hassan, absolutely fantastic to see you. I haven't seen you for such a long time.
Yeah, well, you can call me a ghost from the past, but now you can call me the silver ghost from the past. Look at this. I've gone grey in 3 years of fighting with all sorts of problems with my health, but touch wood, you know, I've recovered extremely well. I mean, I just had a recent another setback, but it's actually turned out to be a good setback in that I'm feeling a lot better after that, you know. And yeah, I battled to walk without my crutches, but let's hope I'll overcome that soon. I'll be on the track soon, you know. And as you can see here on the farm, I still love my horses. I'm trying to get my family to carry on with the legacy, and the farm is looking magnificent. I must tell you, in the hospital, I sit there with my catalogue and even in the intensive care unit, they say, "What the hell are you doing?" It keeps my mind alive, you know. And I think that your health is basically sitting up here. You mustn't say that you're sick. I have never been sick. I've been injured, okay?
Hassan, we haven't seen much of you obviously on the course or at the sales recently, but I often see Ran, and he really is carrying the flag high and the biggest supporter of Nadeson Park.
What can I say for you? I've had a horrid journey of note with my health, you know, and Ryan has been flying the flag, even though, you know, he's still got a lot to grow into, and I'm actually very proud of him because I'd like to keep this legacy going, which I started in horse racing, and today I'm very proud of what we have achieved as a family, and he's my only son, so let's hope that he can take over from where I leave and be blessed with the same sort of, you know, relationships that I've built with people. I think he's a lovely youngster. Well, he's not young anymore, but he's passionate about people. You know, he must not get passionate about horses. So I'm training him and I'm investing in him, and he is very keen to put his pound of flesh to it.
Yeah, well, I don't think you need to worry about him because he certainly is very popular at the sales, and he does seem to love the horses. So, yeah, onwards and upwards, and lovely to see him here with you today.
No, thank you very much. And yeah, as far as Ryan is concerned, I wish him well, you know, in this journey that I've been on. And he's lucky, he's going to learn very quickly, you know.
Well, I'm not going to go through all 25, but there's some that I caught my eye and that I quite like. So we're going to go through a few, and I know you know your catalogue inside out, but I need to just read through them. But let's start with lot number 1, because he's a Gimme the Green Light colt out of Come Back and Dance, and he's a lovely big looking sort.
Well, Fiona, you're spot on, you know. I mean, he's my favourite. I've never produced a horse like this. You know that I bought Gimme the Green Light as a weanling, and up till today, I'll never forget how I bought him. It's an interesting story. I'm not going to bore you with that. But if the snakes listen to this, they know exactly what I mean. He is the splitting image of his father. He's a bull of a horse. He's got 3 white socks, and he's got a head on him like his father with the same eyes. He's got that eye that hypnotized me in buying Gimme the Green Light. This is a magnificent horse. I've never produced a horse on this farm by Gimme the Green Light that looks like that.
Oh no, he was a striking looking individual out there walking this morning. Lot 20, another lovely Gimme the Green Light colt, and he's out of Comet Chaser.
Now look, we all know that Gimme works very well with Jetmaster, you know, and Comet Chaser was a great Jetmaster filly. And I always liked this Woodland Fairies. I bought a lot of horses out of that family, and she was super fast. She was a little bit hot at times, but she's produced some nice horses. You know, I know a few that's still going to run, and the trainers are very happy with them. So I'm I must tell you, this is one of her nicest foals, you know. I mean, really, really nice colt, you know.
Let's move on to lot 35. Now, she was quite an eye-catching filly for me. She's, by Give Me the Green Light, out of Emerald Gel.
So I bought this horse specifically to breed with, even if she couldn't win a race, you know, because that's the sort of blood that I chase all over the world. Whether it's in Australia, in America, I've been very successful in finding horses that is not necessarily the specimen that you can afford, you know, but from a breeding point of view, that's what I like. So I bought her, and she won a race, and she was placed 11 times, and then it started with the joints and so on, and we stopped her racing. But she is a filly by Galileo, who you know is one of the top sires in the world, and her full sister is a horse called Ballet Shoes, that's a graded winner in England.
Yeah, certainly. You've got a nice-looking filly with something to work with. Lot 42 as another filly that caught my eye. She's by Water Winter out of Fanfare.
The dam produced heavy metal, who won the July, and he was Chris's horse with Terry and a lot of other horses. And I decided, look, let me take her to the best stallions, you know. And so far, I've had a bit of a setback with one of the stallions. She threw a beautiful, I think it was an elusive colt, and he died, and then this filly came along. But she is truly a magnificent filly. I mean, it's Water Winter throws them beautifully sometimes. If you put the right mare to him, he can produce a great horse. And I'm a fan of Water Winter. I own shares in Water Winter, so really it was a great thrill to see this filly. And I looked at her yesterday even again, and she looked to me one of the type that I want to see win races, you know.
And lot number 80 is a really, really attractive filly, and everything looks in the right place, and she looks exciting. She's by Master of My Fate out of London Secret.
I must tell you, you know, Gimme goes very well with Jetmaster mares. So this is a Gimme filly. So I decided to go to a Jetmaster stallion, you know, and quite frankly, that's what I got. She looks the splitting image of Master of My Fate with beautiful blaze and pitch black. And this is a Mary Slack family, a Londonese. And it's got all, I mean, I don't have to sell this filly in terms of pedigree. The page sells itself, you know.
Yeah, no, she was probably my favourite filly that I saw this morning.
Filly. And I think whoever buys her will have great fun, not only as a track horse, but she would have great breeding potential. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I must say, your stud manager, Ashley, he's always fantastic to work with, and he's got his eye on a few as well.
Look,
and
I am so proud to be proudly South African in terms of giving an opportunity to people who's never had it before. I'll be very honest with you, you know.
He's certainly become part of the family here. We love working with him, and he obviously loves his horses, and we were on the same page chatting this morning. He likes some of the same ones that I liked, and he had some input. He really likes 97 and 98 as well. So let's talk about 97. She's a filly by Give Me the Green Light out of Mysterious Jet.
Yeah, look, one of the things that I'm trying to teach Ashley is to look at the catalogue page and to see what sells a horse. What sells a horse is the performance of the mare, you know. And this mare, Mercedes Jet, has produced La Bella Mia, who I had great fun with. She won 8 races. She won a Group 2, the Post Merchants Group 2. And this is a full sister to La Bella Mia. So, I mean, the page and the confirmation is in sync, you know. They speak to each other, and that's why I'm really impressed that he didn't look at the page, he looked at the confirmation of the horse. So that's what he liked, and I like the page, you know. It's got a very, and it's a Jetmaster mare out of, you know, by Give Me the Green Light. So I think that filly would obviously attract a lot of attention at the sale.
Yeah, and not 98, another Give Me the Green Light filly. Now, she's out of No Doubt, and I know Ashley's got his eye on her as well.
Yeah, 98 is my favourite, simply one of my favourites. I can't call everybody my favourite, one of my favourites, because it's out of a family that I really like, you know. It's the same family as Vercingetorix. I think this Give Me the Green Light with No Doubt can produce something very nice, you know.
So as I said, there's too many for us to go through them all, but one more I'd like to touch on is Horizon, because there's not many Horizons on the sale, and you've got a colt out of Sensible Lover.
And I thought, let me give him a nice quality mare, you know, in terms of performance and pedigree. And so I sent Sensible Lover, and she threw this. When this foal was born, it was a beautiful foal. She was a beautiful foal. And it's grown into what I expected it to grow.
Absolutely, I agree. But Hassan, thanks very much for having us this morning. What a lovely draft you've got going forward. And I must say, every time I come to the farm, it just grows and grows and looks better and better every time. The trees are growing, and it's just absolutely looking fantastic. But more importantly, the highlight was to see you looking absolutely fantastic and still with so much passion.
Yeah, look, I'm sitting on the stoop here of my office here on the farm. And I wanted specifically to show everybody that the Scullers will be back soon in Cape Town.
That's fantastic. Well, best of luck at the sale, best of luck on the race course, and good luck with everything. And it's fantastic to see you.
And, you know, praise the Lord that I'm still alive and I'm back soon, you know.
Absolutely fantastic news. Thank you, Hassan.
Thank you so much.
Well, of course, they've got a lovely draft, Nadeson, going to the Cape Premier yearling sale, so I'm looking forward to seeing them there. We've certainly seen some lovely individuals walking this morning, and yeah, look forward to them selling well.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Breeding to Win. Don't forget to join us next week for more Breeding to Win action. From myself, Julie Alexander, and the rest of the Breeding to Win team, goodbye.